Was I wrong about all of them? They are so close. But I think if you're a starting streamer and you're buying an SM7B, you're making a big mistake. Welcome back to the Alpha Gaming channel. We got a brand new mic over here, which I first saw this thing at CES of 2020. That was second to last convention I went to. They had this on the floor and then I didn't hear anything about it since then, basically. Starting last week, I got a bunch of people jumping into my Twitch chat asking me to review it. And I was like, oh, it finally came out. And I think I was able to pre-order it. I haven't been able to find an actual date anywhere on the internet. I'm seeing stuff on Reddit saying it got delayed, whatever. Anyway, it's here now and it's got some interesting features that I feel puts it in between two microphones that I want to put it up against and see kind of where it stands. We've got the classic Shure SM7b that's kind of the industry standard when it comes to dynamic microphones, the microphone that all streamers aspire to buy for some reason. I disagree with that. We'll get into that. And then we have the brand new Shure MV7, which is more aimed towards streamers. It has some other functions, like it's got a headphone jack in the back, it's got USB functionality and XLR plus a little bit of an interface on the side for controlling it, but feels a little bit like a toy compared to the SM7B. The SM7B is $400, the MV7 is $250, the Q9U is $200, so it's the cheapest one here. What I wanna do today is I wanna unbox this thing. Let's take a look at what's inside the box, what's on the microphone, the build quality, then let's compare it to these two microphones, completely raw, no filters on there at all. And then lastly, and I think most importantly, I feel like this doesn't happen a lot in microphone reviews, and I think it's a very underappreciated test, is I'm gonna leave the room, I'm gonna have Ryan, you guys know Ryan, he's the producer at StreamBeats, he's gonna add some EQ to all of them and see how close to each other he can get them to sound. I'll come back in and see if I can figure out which one is which, because you can download some really good free EQ and put it right in your OBS, and if you can use EQ to make a $200 mic sound exactly the same as a $400 mic, that's all that matters. In a streaming setting, not in a, I know it's different in a studio setting. Ryan's silently judging me over there for saying that. I've never had a great unboxing experience with Samson. That is not a pretty unboxing experience. By the way, Samson did not send me anything. I bought this on my own. Ooh, it feels nice though. Feels a lot nicer than the box it came in. Comes with a windscreen here. Let's see, you got a little mute button that holds in so you know if it's in or out. I wonder if that lights up. Doesn't look like it. I wonder if there's any indicator of whether or not it's muted other than this sticking in. The button doesn't feel great. So you got XLR, you got your headphone jack, and you got USB Type-C, which is a nice improvement over mini USB that we got here on the MV7. Something kind of neat in here is we have these two EQ, like built-in EQ presence filters. Is that the right way to call it? The mid is the presence. Yeah. Yeah, and then like a roll off here. Yeah, so we got these nice EQ adjustments on the back, similar to the SM7B. Are they the exact same ones as this? You got a mid boost, which is this one, and you have a low roll off. Is that what these two are?
Yeah, they might not be the same frequency.
I wonder if we can figure out what the frequencies are. But yeah, I like that they went USB-C. I don't like this button. Comes with a USB Type-C, USB 2 cable. Oh, and then a USB Type-C to USB Type-C. So you can do whichever one you want. That's kind of nice, giving you options. Okay, apparently we can't find anything on what the mid boost is at on either microphone.
No, I can't on this Samson.
Oh, that's right. No, we can find it on the Shure. Yeah. The Shure boosts 3, you're right, I was wrong. The 3 boosts 3 decibels at 2K to 4K. Can't find anything on the mid boost on this thing. So I don't know what the mid boost is. It's probably close to the same because the low roll off is exactly the same, which is 2, do you know if it's 2 decibels on the Shure? It's minus 3 decibels. This one's only minus 2 decibels, but they're both a roll off at 200 hertz. I mean, you're cutting out a lot of lows there.
Yeah, that's a...
Like I usually don't roll off my voice until like, you know, 50 to 80 hertz down there, and I usually boost at like 80 because that's where my low frequencies are. So don't know how useful that's gonna be. Let's set these up.
All right.
Okay.
Let's give it a listen.
Yeah, go for it. You listen first.
Okay. Play Demon by StreamBeats Originals, our DMCA free rock album. Play Demon by StreamBeats Originals, our DMCA free rock album. Play Demon by StreamBeats Originals, our DMCA free rock album. Okay.
You hear a difference?
Yeah.
Let me put a
big difference.
Super important. If you're listening to this, make sure you're wearing headphones. Otherwise, this is going to be totally useless. Oh, the Q9U is my least favorite.
Same.
Yeah. In fact, yeah. I kind of liked the MV7 better than the SM7B.
Really?
Yeah. It's just so much brighter.
Q9U, super low mid heavy.
Yeah, it was super dull.
Yeah, very, very overwhelming in that low stuff. SM7B.
Which is what I cut normally.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like 500 hertz area. Just scoop that out. It's got so much of it.
Yeah, it was basically.
Imagine if we turned on the. Did we have it on?
No.
No. Could you imagine if we had the mid boost on?
Probably higher.
Like 2 to 4K.
Yeah, it's would probably help actually. Yeah, I think usually when we think about like kind of muddy, woolly feeling frequencies, we're talking mid like 500 ish, right? And then like the lower stuff, 200, 100. This is really heavy mid and low. It's interesting they call it a mid boost because usually it's a presence boost, which is higher. SM7B, it's almost like we have a gradient. It was like super low, mid, heavy,
a little bit
less
more neutral,
yeah,
like almost a little bit flatter with the SM7B.
Yeah, a little more neutral. Still maybe a little heavier on the low mid side than you might want in the end. And then the MV7 felt, compared to the others, it felt really thin, like almost like there was a roll off.
Yeah. I didn't hate that. All you have to, it wasn't too much to me. The MV7 didn't it wasn't enough to bother me. I always boost my lows, so I like a really low presence. But all you got to do is give it a little, 3 decibel, 4 decibel boost at like 50 to 80 hertz, and you got that right back. I want to hear. Can I hear the part where we knocked on the thing? So in another review that we looked at, someone had mentioned that this does a really poor job of isolating from sounds around, especially from the desk vibrations going into the microphone. So we tapped on like this little area right here on each of them to hear what the sound difference is. Oh my gosh. I hit those the exact same amount. Being real with you, that's probably a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, I can only, especially if you're using like an arm connected to your desk.
Yeah, like, which every streamer is.
Yeah, like any.
The only way this mic is going to be usable now is if you're on a stand on the floor.
You can tell just from like touching it compared to the other ones. There's something in there that is just very sensitive to any vibration.
Not even like a little bit, like 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to the keyboard isolation section.
This is me typing while talking on stream, and of course, playing stream beats in the background. This is me typing while talking on stream, and of course, playing stream beats in the background. This is me typing while talking on stream, and of course, playing stream beats in the background.
The Q9U's definitely got the quietest, but I feel like that's just because of the lack of high end.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was.
It doesn't feel like it's actually isolating anymore. It's just not picking up the frequencies of keyboard clicks.
Yeah, the low frequencies will mask higher frequencies. So it feels like there's so much overwhelming low frequencies that it's just kind of covering other stuff up.
And I feel like the moment you EQ the high end back in is the moment the keyboard clicks come back in.
Yeah, so I would say between the SM7B and the Q9U, like the difference is negligible.
Yeah, I don't think it's any different.
MV7 maybe picked up a little more than the other two, but it wasn't.
It also has less low end and more high end. I really think once you EQ these, there's going to be very little difference between them. Okay. You want to EQ this?
Yeah.
I'm going to leave the room. Not that it matters, you're wearing headphones, but I'm going to leave the room. You EQ this and then like reorder them.
Okay.
See if I can figure out which one's which. The test is ready?
Yep.
How good do you think it is? Would you be able to tell?
I think some words are like I was switching between the tracks, and some words I couldn't tell I switched the track.
This is the test that really determines if the SM7B is dead. If you were able to make the Q9U sound remotely similar to the SM7B, it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. I already think it's dead. I don't think any streamer should be buying an SM7B. I think if you're running a studio, you should.
Yeah.
But I think if you're a starting streamer and you're buying an SM7B, you're making a big mistake.
Yeah, I don't think the $400 purchase is worth it.
No.
If
so that's why the video is named this, regardless of how well this thing does. All right, let's do it.
Okay. Play Demon by Stream Beats Originals, our DMCA free rock album. Play Demon by Stream Beats Originals, our DMCA free rock album. Play Demon by Stream Beats Originals, our DMCA free rock album.
Okay, my guess is that you didn't reorder them at all.
False.
Really?
Really. I did change the order.
Was I wrong about all of them? They are so close.
I changed the order of all of them. Yes.
So I didn't get any of them right.
No.
Okay.
Pretty
That's
good.
That shows the point though.
Yeah.
How much EQ did you do on these? What'd you really do?
Okay. So track one.
Well, and let me do it while looking at the
Okay.
I bet I can tell by looking at the EQ. Okay, so
This
that one
whole
has a
thing?
bass boost and a high. So this is number one's the MV7.
Correct.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's definitely the Q9U.
Yes.
MV7 up top.
Q9U SM7b.
So the MV7 had so much high end that you cut out a little bit of the high and gave it a bass boost.
Yeah.
The Q9U is the exact opposite, where you did a lot of work on that.
Yeah.
Would someone be able to do something at least similar with Reaper plugins though?
There are enough points on the ReQ plugin.
How many bands were there? I thought there was only
I
4.
swear there was at least 5.
Was there 5?
But you could do this with 4.
Yeah, you could smooth that out a little bit.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using 4 actually. Yeah, if you don't count the low cut, because you can do that without the EQ. Like you can use OBS EQ as well. Like especially for a high pass filter
Like
or
a
a
low
low
roll
cut.
off.
Like,
Yeah.
that's not going to be a problem.
Okay.
So my process was I improved the sound of the SM7B, and then I tried to get this to match it, and then I tried to get this to match him.
Okay.
So that's why this one the SM7B I was mostly just like tweaking it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then to get this to match, I had to cut out a lot of low stuff and a lot of mid stuff.
What's
and boost it
interesting
like
is the
crazy.
boost that you did there is a similar frequency to what the boost in the SM7B is. And assuming that the boost on this thing is the same, it'd probably improve the actually, let's just record that real quick. Oh man, why is Streambeats so good? Oh man, why is Streambeats so good? I think that's a low mid boost. Here, you hear it.
What?
That does not add any it just makes it muddier.
No way. I wonder if it only works with USB because I know
It says in the manual it does with both.
because I heard a huge difference.
On the other video?
Yeah.
Let me share my thoughts in a different angle. So, would I recommend the Samson Q9U? Short answer, no. It doesn't really do anything that another microphone doesn't do better. And that's super important. So just to help you understand this, pros and cons. Pro, it's got an XLR and a USB interface. Pro, it's got built-in EQ presence switches built right into the microphone that adjusts both the XLR and the USB output. Kind of a neat feature. And one more pro, if you know how to EQ properly, you can get this sounding pretty much just as good as an SM7B. We'll even show the EQ settings on the screen to show exactly what we did. However, that's kind of where the pros end. For example, cons, it doesn't sound very good out of the box. Also, it's a USB microphone that has absolutely 0 software and 0 control interfaces to it. There is nothing but a kind of cheap mute button on it, which doesn't even light up to indicate whether or not it's activated, which is really weird. The microphone jack, as far as I'm aware, as long as you're plugged into a PC via USB, can not only monitor your voice with no latency, but can also play your game sound, so it can act as your audio interface. But without any software to go along with it, you'd have to rely on setting up something like Voice Meter or any other third-party mixing software, even just to make it usable. And I'd say most importantly, for $50 more, the Shure MV7, which I'd say, I don't know, I was gonna say it doesn't look as good as this microphone, but that's kind of personal preference. I prefer the black MV7 a little bit more. I think it's a little bit more industrial looking. But for $50 more, you get a microphone that has an XLR and USB interface with a headphone jack to do all the exact same things these do, but also has a built-in interface right on the microphone for muting, changing microphone volume in your headset, changing gain volume in your headset, and changing a blend between the two or locking the entire thing. It's not a terrible interface to be put right onto a microphone. So with just that, I'm already leaning towards the MV7, but combine that with the obnoxious amount of noise that this makes, that anytime you move your mouse on your desk, it's going to pick up in this. Kind of a deal breaker for me. I just really don't think I can recommend this microphone. That being said, I also can't recommend the SM7B, at least to a streamer with any kind of budget. If we're talking about the top 1% of streamers with 1,000 to 2,000 monthly subs that can spend $400 on a microphone because it's cool, sure, get the SM7B. But with so many other better options for dynamic mics that we've gone over in a number of videos, the MV7, the pod mic, the only reason anyone gets an SM7B for streaming anymore is because it's the mic to get. And no other reason. Its price to performance for a live stream is really poor compared to what else you can get. If you have any microphones about this that maybe you think I missed, feel free to jump onto my Twitch stream. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. I'll see you there. And as always, happy streaming.
Other guys over here. Look like they knew they were doing kinda, and then they did it.
Oh wait, he's throwing punches. He's throwing punches. He's throwing punches. Hey, hey, hey.
Beat his ass though. Still beat his ass. fuck.